Hello and welcome to a video about Benzes, buses, and maybe some Bedlam. Today what we're doing is we're going to be changing the oil bath filter on this 1966 Mercedes 200D. So we're going to start by disconnecting this rubber hose here and lifting it off. Okay, now that we've removed that, we're going to take apart these little clips here. Come off like so. And that allows us to remove the top element here. Now you're going to have a bunch of oil there. So you might want to take a rag. Now that that's off, we see in here that this car is Hazel, by the way. Had her for quite a few years now. So what we have here is a bunch of dirty, nasty oil, and we can see that it wasn't sitting exactly level, so that the oil is kind of pulled in the back. It should be flat and flush there, and I'll show you once it's all cleaned up where the oil lever is supposed to be. Oil level. But in the meantime, we can look. The other two bolts are right here. So we're going to remove these two bolts right here and right here, and then this whole assembly will just lift out. You might notice a couple other little weird things about this car is a solenoid here going over to a dual battery system. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But a little 2.0 diesel 4-speed car. This one I have set up on airbags. So yeah, let's get this cleaned up. Okay, so we're actually going to spray this guy off with some degreaser here before we clean it out inside with the diesel here. Want to make sure that you don't get water or any kind of degreaser cleaner in this element here. We want to clean this off with just straight diesel. But yeah, we're going to let this sit for a bit, and we're going to clean up the outside of this and actually touch it up in a few places with some paint. But yep. I did forget, there is a little breather hose that connects to the crankcase here that you have to disconnect. Yep, so be back in a second. Okay, hello everybody, or anybody that's watching this stupid video. We are installing the oil bath air cleaner that we disassembled and cleaned. So what that entails is putting it back in place here. Attaching the nuts and bolts. And then we are going to fill it with oil once it's at the proper level. And yeah, a little side note, I lost this stupid bracket for the alternator, and it took me every bit of yesterday to find it. Where it was, it's directly under where my foot is right now, but I looked everywhere and seriously took this as a sign that maybe this car doesn't like me. But Hazel and I had a talk, and I think we're gonna make this work. So another thing we're gonna do today is I have a leak in the rear airbags, and I would like to fix that. So we're going to spray some foamy water and see what that tells us. And if need be, replace a couple fittings. So, and of course, I dropped the nut. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Alright, so we have the base installed here, and now we're going to try and level it out. So it looks about right to me. Just tighten these. So the reason we want to make this level is we're going to fill it with oil. And when we fill it with oil, it needs to be level so that this element here is submerged, but there's still enough room for the air to circulate back through. And so it draws the air through here, deposits all the dirt, grime, and dust, whatever else, into the actual oil before sucking it through. There's some wire, and I'm not sure exactly what's inside there, but yeah, it'd be interesting to take one of these apart actually. But and then it from there takes the filtered air and puts it into the engine. So it's important to make sure this is level so that the oil line is consistent all the way across here. So that's what we're going to do here, and then we're going to tighten everything down, and then we're going to fill it with this fancy dancy Mercedes type oil substitute, and we just fill it up to this line here. If you can see in the air cleaner, there is a red line that you fill up to, and I think it says normal, yeah, or oil line. So that's how you do that. Okay, now that we have that leveled and fastened, we're going to install some of this fancy dancy Mercedes type oil up to right there where the neck is. And then we're going to drop in said filter, attach breather, which this should have a hose clamp on it. I'm not sure why it doesn't. Then we install this. Like so. There. And once this is fastened, that completes our installation of the oil bath air cleaner and service. If this air conditioner doesn't get in the way. There we go. Alright, so tighten that down. And this should be done, well, the manual says whenever the oil looks dirty or dark. So I guess that's up to interpretation, but considering this car only gets maybe 1,000 miles a year. In the last 2 or 3 years, it's got 0 miles. So, yeah, it was due. And so it'll be interesting to see, once I start driving it again, how long it takes for that to foul up. Again, these should be Mercedes hose clamps, and they're not. This is from a previous owner. So, but that is the installation of our oil bath air cleaner on a 1966 Mercedes-Benz. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the day. Woo!